is the way you have to say good morning. Good morning! Good morning! Wonderful. I will just tell a number. That is my number, okay? You just clap very loudly according to the number what I am telling. I want the josh and energy, dynamism, and the spirit of the Leos to come out. Right? Are you ready? Okay, I just tell a number, you clap 10 minutes more times. Okay, let us start. 3. I don't know whether Karnataka 3 is 5. Okay, once again let us try. 2, 4, 5, 1, 3. Wonderful, hats off to you. One clap for all of you. What a fantastic way of organizing an event. Kavan, where are you? I saw Kavan smiling only when he went to the chairman's podium. Till that time I could see something blowing on his face. He was looking so stressed and tensed. My dear boy, you are an outstanding leader in the making. Outstanding leader in the making. And what a fantastic time management. 45 minutes exactly they finished the inaugural ceremony. I have never seen, I did a program in the Izame Forum for Leos. I did a program in Ahmedabad where Prem was telling about, I was a faculty there. Ahmedabad Izame Forum. I did a program for Leos. And in Dubai Izame Forum also I have done a program. Very honestly I am telling Vaman Kumar Shetty is telling to you. I have never seen leaders of this quality and perfection in any district in India. 317D and 317C, hats off to you. You all might have heard about the blonde woman. You know blonde. The blonde woman means people, ladies with the golden hair, pretty looking, gorgeous looking, but the IQ is little less. So there are a lot of stories about blonde ladies. One day a gentleman, just like Kavan, was sitting in a restaurant in London in the evening time. A blonde lady also went and occupied the same table. Suddenly the entire guests in the restaurant started watching the huge LED TV. On the top of the 40th floor of a building, a youngster is shouting and threatening that he will jump down and commit suicide. Everybody was watching whether this guy will jump down. Hundreds of people watching down. Come on, what is going to happen? Suddenly the blonde lady asked this Kavan-like youngster, do you think he will jump? The young man told, yes ma'am, he will jump. The lady told, no, he will not. He is actually putting pressure on his parents to love the girl he loves or marry the girl he loves. The man told, no ma'am, from his body language I am sure he is going to jump. The lady asked, are you for a bet? The guy took 100 pounds currency note from his pocket, tapping on the table, said, 100 pounds bet. Unless and until you tap the currency on the table, it won't become a bet. Am I right, friend? Okay. Then the lady also took 100 pounds. She was about to put the money on the table. The man jumped. The man jumped. But it was not a bet. Okay? The protocol of the bet has not been completed. But the lady told, I told he will not jump. You told he will jump. Take the money. The man told, no ma'am, sorry, I don't want. Come on here, no problem. Even though I did not tap on the tabletop, you take the money. You won the bet, you take the money. The man told, no ma'am, I will not take this money. Why not? I have seen the same TV news at 2 o'clock news also. The news review news of the 2 o'clock, the same scene was telecast. So I have seen it. The lady told, I also saw it in 2 o'clock news, but I never thought that he will do it again. So I have also seen it in the 2 o'clock news, but I never thought he. So I never thought, Vasanth, you will bring me back again this year. Thank you very much. Though in the form of a Leo program. Happy to be a part of this 317B and C. Karl Marx, have you ever heard? Those who heard about the name Karl Marx, raise your hands. Karl Marx. Oh my God, if I asked you the name of some cricketer or footballer, you would all, Leos, what is this? Karl Marx, the communist, philosopher, who really talked about humanity. When he died, only 5 people were allowed to permitted to attend his burial, cremation. And his most intimate friend, Engels, did not get a chance. Engels was the intellectual partner of Karl Marx. They only wrote the Das Kapital, such revolutionary books. And even Karl Marx really put an end to something, that there was a belief that God only created human beings, and he challenged and questioned it, just like Charles Darwin did. So Engels wanted to write something when he died, when Karl Marx died. Engels wanted to write something. He thought. And what did he write about the death of Karl Marx? You know? Karl Marx stopped thinking. That was the statement. Karl Marx stopped thinking. Dear Leos, great leaders never die. They will never die. They only stop thinking. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born in Porbandar, but Mahatma Gandhi was born in Pretoria. Yes or no? Mahatma Gandhi was born in South Africa when he went there, and the racial discrimination he faced while traveling in the train, all of us know that. That is something called the champion's mindset, or greatness which we get that make us the true leaders. Somebody asked the Warren Buffett, so I can also ask, Leos, you can shout your answers. Okay, don't make it a monologue, make it a dialogue. Though it is, LEOxTalk has its own limitations. Warren Buffett, somebody asked Warren Buffett, who is the richest man in the world? Can somebody tell me who is the number one in the world now? Some Leos, come on. Elon Musk, right? Just before that it was, the owner of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. So it may be, for 17 years it was Microsoft chairman Bill Gates. Okay. So whether it is Bill Gates, Elon Musk, or Tesla owner Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, somebody asked Warren Buffett, who is the richest man in the world? He replied, I don't know who is the richest, but one thing I know, I am in the top 5 for the last 40 years. He simply said, I am one of in the top 5 for the last 40 years. As a leader, can you be in the top 5 for many years is the question. Or whether you will just be a leader like that. I have to appreciate my student Soujanya Hegde, who got a latest position as the General Legal Counsel of JC India, got elected, appointed at Bangalore National Convention, and I'm happy that she is also here. Congratulations. Okay. So moving to the question of leadership, I just want to remind you a beautiful sentence by John Kenneth Galbraith. John Kenneth Galbraith was an economist. And what did he say about leadership? What should be the quality of the leaders? All of the great leaders have had one characteristic in common. What is that one characteristic that is common to all the great leaders? Understand, Leos, what is that one quality? Right? It was the willingness to confront unequivocally the major anxiety of the people in their time. Willingness to face unequivocally, directly, boldly the major concerns of the people, the major anxieties of the people. If a leader cannot address the major anxiety of the people of their times, he or she is not a leader. Right? And he says, this and not much else is the essence of leadership. That is the essence of leadership. As a leader, are you unequivocally confront the anxieties of the people of your times? Gandhiji did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Nelson Mandela was in the jail for 27 years. You know all these stories. Victor Wester was the prison from where he moved out. And the day came, lakhs and lakhs of thousands and thousands and hundreds and thousands of black-colored people were dancing, enjoying on the street, because after 27 years, a guy is coming. When he was in the jail, he was given initially he was given a small room with a wooden bench that was only furniture. A white-colored jail officer used to serve him food. Before serving food, every time the white policeman used to spit in the food and give. That is the extremity of the racial discrimination these white people were having with the black. And Nelson Mandela had to remove that portion of the food and eat. On the day of his release from the jail, Nelson Mandela came out. It was being live telecast all over the world. Bill Clinton was the governor of the state of Kansas. On those times, he didn't become the president of the United States of America. Right? He was a governor. Hillary Clinton and Chelsea, his daughter, were watching live. And when Mandela came out of the prison, he stopped, looked back at the prison for 1 minute, staring at the prison building for 1 minute, and again moved. Chelsea, the daughter of Clinton, asked her, Dad, why does Mr. Mandela do that? Why did he stop and look? Clinton told, I don't know. If I get an opportunity in my life, I will go and ask him. Clinton met Mandela when he was the American president, and he asked, Mr. Mandela, can I ask you a personal question? He said, yes. We all saw you looking back, staring at the building for 1 minute, and after that you once again started walking out. My daughter asked me why. I told her, I will ask you when I meet you in person. Did you hate that building that much? Did you hate that building that much? Mandela replied, never. Had I hated that building, once again, I would have become a prisoner. Once again, I would have become a prisoner of hatred. I never hated. And what happened to that guy who spat in the food? Mandela called for that man. He was hiding somewhere, but he was brought. Patting him on the shoulder, Mandela told, don't worry, my boy, I forget it. Great leaders are like that. They will confront the problems and concerns of others and the time during which they live. I just want to show you a video. Just watch. If you ask me, who is your most favorite author of the current times? This guy is my most favorite author. Simon Sinek, who wrote the book Start With Why. I recommend very strongly all the Leos to read that book, Start With Why. Such a wonderful book and such a wonderful speaker and thinker. Let us listen to Simon Sinek, what he speaks about leadership.
Charlie Kim, who was the CEO of a company called NextJump in New York City, a tech company, he makes the point that if you had hard times in your family, would you ever consider laying off one of your children? We would never do it. Then why do we consider laying off people inside our organization? Charlie implemented a policy of lifetime employment. If you get a job at NextJump, you cannot get fired for performance issues. In fact, if you have issues, they will coach you and they will give you support, just like we would with one of our children who happens to come home with a C from school. It's the complete opposite. This is the reason so many people have such a visceral hatred, sort of anger at some of these banking CEOs with their disproportionate salaries and bonus structures. It's not the numbers. It's that they have violated the very definition of leadership. They have violated this deep-seated social contract. We know that they allowed their people to be sacrificed so they could protect their own interests. Or worse, they sacrifice their people to protect their own interests. This is what so offends us, not the numbers. Would anybody be offended if we gave a $150 million bonus to Gandhi? How about a $250 million bonus to Mother Teresa? Do we have an issue with that? None at all. None at all. Great leaders would never sacrifice the people to save the numbers. They would sooner sacrifice the numbers to save the people. Bob Chapman, who runs a large manufacturing company in the Midwest called Barry Waymiller, in 2008 was hit very hard by the recession, and they lost 30% of their orders overnight. Now, in a large manufacturing company, this is a big deal, and they could no longer afford their labor pool. They needed to save $10 million. So, like so many companies today, the board got together and discussed layoffs. And Bob refused. You see, Bob doesn't believe in head counts. Bob believes in heart counts. And it's much more difficult to simply reduce the heart count. And so they came up with a furlough program. Every employee from secretary to CEO was required to take 4 weeks of unpaid vacation. They could take it any time they wanted, and they did not have to take it consecutively. But it was how Bob announced the program that mattered so much. He said, it's better that we should all suffer a little than any of us should have to suffer a lot. And morale went up. They saved $20 million. And most importantly, as would be expected, when the people feel safe and protected by the leadership in the organization, the natural reaction is to trust and cooperate. And quite spontaneously, nobody expected, people started trading with each other. Those who could afford it more would trade with those who could afford it less. People would take 5 weeks so that somebody else only had to take 3. Leadership is a choice. It is not a rank. I know many people at the senior-most levels of organizations who are absolutely not leaders. They are authorities. And we do what they say because they have authority over us, but we would not follow them. And I know many people who are at the bottoms of organizations who have no authority, and they are absolutely leaders. And this is because they have chosen to look after the person to the left of them, and they have chosen to look after the person to the right of them. This is what a leader.
Okay. Hope you got the idea. What actually impressed me the most is that the story of Bob Chapman, the leader of an organization. They lost $1 million sale and order, and every other director of the company told, let us lay off the employees. He told, no, every one of you, including the CEO, can take 4 weeks unpaid vacation. And he was the first one to do that. The morale went up. Great leaders never sacrifice people for the number. They will never sacrifice people for the number. They never count head, they always count heart. Leadership is, in many organizations there are lower level people who are greater leaders, but we always follow leaders who have authority. Campbell is the coach of our Google CEO, Sundar Pichai, personal coach of Google CEO, Sundar Pichai. And Campbell, a performance coach of America, he was the personal coach of Steve Jobs. And Campbell once beautifully remarked, titles make you a manager, people only make you a leader. Titles make you a manager, people only make you a leader. If Kavan has to become a leader, then the Leos of 318B can only make him a leader. If Vasanth Shetty, the DG, wants to become a leader, only the lions, thousands of lions in the district can make it. So let us understand, leadership is not position, it is always action. That is what actually Simon Sinek is telling. Look at the picture. Hello. Yes. I expect a hi back. Hello. Hi. Everybody, Leos, I know you are wearing the mask, no problem, but still little louder. Hello. Hi. It is evident that the flight of the aircraft is in water. Yes or no? Yes. Say yes or no. Yes. On 9th of January, 15th of January 2009, an Airbus 320 flight was taking off from New York, and the destination was Charlotte Airport in North Carolina. There were 150 passengers on board, 5 members in the cabin crew, the pilot, the captain and the first officer. After 5 minutes of the smooth takeoff, hundreds and hundreds of Canadian geese, the birds, attacked the flight. Hundreds of them. The geese always fly together. And the 2 engines of that Airbus 320 aircraft got damaged. This guy had to take a decision within 12 seconds. What to do? Saving the life of 157 people. The nearest airport was New Jersey, but he knew very well, Captain Sully, whose picture you can see, he knew very well that the aircraft will not reach New Jersey. Then what to do? Suddenly he saw Hudson River flowing down. Since the weather was so cold, winter, the water was almost icy. Immediately he contacted the control terminal and told that, I am going to land the flight in this river. He told his first officer, prepare everything, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, prepare everything. We are going to land in the water. He called the head of the cabin crew, told him, control everything, control everything. We are going to take the life jackets and everything. We are going to land in the water. And he made a reassuring, confidential announcement to the people, the passengers. Come on guys, nothing is going to happen. I am confident and I have the experience. This is what I am going to do, save all of our lives. Please obey strictly whatever the cabin crew give you direction. Once the flight lands, emergency doors will be opened automatically without hitting each other, pulling each other, pushing each other. You have to walk through sides and stand on the wings of the aircraft. He did that. He took the decision within 12 seconds, landed it, and it is called the miracle on the Hudson. 157 sustained, nobody died. It's a wonderful incident. I'm talking about the leadership of the pilot. Leadership of the pilot. And you, me, and we can learn 5 lessons out of it. The way he handled the situation, the risky decision he has taken, or the guts and the determination he had shown to take the decision. The 5 points. First one, experience and training are very important. Leo's, why spending? I was talking to the gentleman who was keeping me. He picked me from the Mangalore station and traveling here. Myself, Soujanya, we all reached home. I reached home day before yesterday midnight. Yesterday was a little bit of work at home, and yesterday night again I left my home to speak 45 minutes. I have come here. Today evening I have a Lions Club function, 1 hour drive from Kannur. I will be reaching tomorrow. Lions Club has adopted 50 meritorious children and giving them full free education and entrance testing for 1 year, full free. I had to address them. So this lot of Lions activities or JC activities are actually eating up most of my time. I don't find time for going for my corporate training either or in my legal office also. But I enjoy because the experience and learning what I'm getting, what we are getting from organizations like Lions or Rotary or JCI, that is definitely something that will help you and me, will equip you, all of us, to face these types of issues and crisis situations. So learn experience and training if you want to emerge as a leader. Second one, stay calm. During situations you have to stay calm. You have to control your temper. It's not good that, sometimes people may, outsmart you. Sometimes it can happen. People may outsmart you. There may be more confident, people, smarter people than us. Somebody told that once a guy, a blind man went to a hotel and he used to give order for the food, smelling the, the cutleries, the knife, fork and spoon used by other customers. No, they will normally be washed and kept, He will ask for the cutleries, he will smell and give exact food what they had, he orders. The banquet manager wanted to prove him wrong. His wife Diana was working in the hotel. One day he took some 2 for 3, fork and spoon and knife and told his wife who is working in the accounts department of the hotel, you rub it on your lips and give back. And the lady didn't know she gave. That day the banquet manager called family manager called everybody, come, I will prove this guy wrong. So they went and they gave these spoons and the cutleries rubbed on the lips of his wife Diana. After smelling everything, this guy thought, oh my God, my old classmate Diana is working in this hotel. So I don't know how did he know that. So sometimes people will put you into these types of tight corners. Okay, but you have to be calm. So when situations, that is why always we say, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. A very wonderful statement, right? So stay calm. Third one, communicate clearly. What Captain Sully did, he could manage that situation because he communicated so clearly. So had he not been capable to communicate to the passengers properly, I have a doubt if it happened in India, I don't know how many will survive. Okay, whatever it is. So they are so disciplined, that's also. So he reassured the passengers that, come on, this is going to do. He reassured the cabin crew also. So that proper communication helped him. Then again, follow the list. That guy, he had a clear idea, he had a clear plan in his mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are the things I have to do? And the list he very strictly followed. So whenever you accept or whenever you execute some leadership positions, you must have a proper plan and you have to follow the list. And then teamwork is critical. It's not actually Captain Sully alone has done it. It has been done by the entire team. Himself, his first officer, the control terminal people, the cabin crew, the 5 of them, and 150 passengers stood as a very strong team. So believe situations, any difficult crisis situations, tough situations we can manage and we can learn these things with these 5 principles or lessons that will help us to move forward. Okay. Now, you might have seen this or you might have read about this. This was so widely discussed recently. Honduras is a country which is very, very frequently infected with these types of hurricanes. Just like Japan is always having the problem of earthquakes, Honduras, a Central American country, always is having the problem of hurricanes. And if heavy, strong hurricanes come, that will topple buildings, bridges will be flown away or taken away. So it will create a lot of havoc and damage. There was a bridge which they constructed in 1936, connecting the city of Honduras with the national highway. The strength of the bridge was deteriorating day by day, year after year, and in the 1990s, Honduras government decided to build a new bridge. The problem is hurricane. So they wanted to build the bridge with the best of the best technology available, so they gave the contract work to a Japanese construction company. They guarantee that whatever hurricane comes, the bridge will be there. That is our commitment. And the company constructed the bridge by taking 2-3 years, and the bridge was inaugurated in 1996. New Cholutaka Bridge. The name of the bridge is Cholutaka Bridge. The new Cholutaka Bridge was inaugurated in 1996. 1998, a very mighty, very heavy hurricane created a lot of devastation everywhere in Honduras, and everybody was looking, oh God, what will happen to this bridge? Leos and Lions, after 1998, the 1998 hurricane, you can see the picture of the bridge and what happened to the bridge. This is the picture of the bridge. Look carefully. Look carefully what happened. Bridge is there intact. No issue. Unfortunately, no river is there. The river decided to fly in a different style. Come on, I'm tired of flying this way. I will flow this way. Nobody expected that to happen. What happened to the service roads? No service roads. So the world called this bridge to nowhere. 5 years it was remaining as a bridge to nowhere, and after 5 years, with the modern technology, they lifted the bridge and once again connected the two ends of the river. These types of uncertainties, ambiguities can happen to you and me when we hold leadership positions. These types of situations can happen. On a fine day, you will find that some of your members say goodbye to the organization. On a fine morning, you can find that, hey, we don't trust this guy, we don't want to continue. Or one fine morning, some competitors may create you, pose serious threat and danger to you. Come on, we want to test you. All these things are because we are living in a world of uncertainty. And the capability of a leader is to bring clarity in ambiguous situations. Are you capable to bring clarity to uncertainties? Are you capable to bring clarity to unclear situations? That is the true leadership. Okay, so we were talking about these points. Okay, now, okay, right. This one is actually a beautiful sentence by Francis M. Cosgrove Jr. A wonderful statement. The world today is talking about servant leadership. We are not talking about authoritative leadership. We are talking about servant leadership. And what this gentleman Francis M. Cosgrove Jr. says, think serve, not lead. Think always that I want to be a servant. I want to serve. Forget about leading. Forget about leading. You think serve. Okay. Leaders are leaders because they are the greater servants. Leaders are leaders because they are the greater servants. Are you ready to serve the community? Are you ready to serve the Leos? Are you ready to serve the Lions? Are you ready to serve the needy, the underprivileged? Are you ready to serve them with some sustainable global causes? The way up is down. The most beautiful part of this quote, the way up is down. Are you capable to go down? Then only you can go up. Many leaders cannot do that. Many leaders cannot do that. But there are certain leaders. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, for an example, when he got elected as a Prime Minister of the country, he called the meeting of all the top level army heads. All army heads, guys holding very big positions in Indian Army, Air Force, Navy, whatever it is, he called a meeting. And he told these people, these guys, he told, I have a news to share with you. Last 200 years the Britishers were ruling over the country. You were all working under some British generals and you do not have the experience to lead Indian armed forces. So what I am thinking, I will request the British Prime Minister to send an experienced military officer to India, be the head of Indian armed forces for 2 years. You guys learn how he manages and administrates the entire force. After 2 years, some of you can become the head of Indian armed force. So that is what my idea. I just want to share with you. Anyone can comment. If you have a different opinion, kindly come out. Natur Singh Rathore from Rajasthan, a top level military officer, stood up and he said, Mr. Prime Minister, you want to bring a Britisher and let him do the job and learn, right? Yes. I'm asking you something different. You also don't have any experience of ruling a country before. Why don't you call a British man to be the Prime Minister for 2 years, learn under him and then become the Prime Minister? Believe me, the question was asked to a world leader like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And what did Nehru say? How did he react? What was his response? He smiled and said, Mr. Nathu Singh Rathore, I offer the post to you. Will you please take it up? Then he wrote, why should I do that? Here we have a man more experienced and capable and senior to me. Give him the post. Nehru asked who? General Cariappa from Kur, Prem Space. That is how General Cariappa, a Kannadiga, became the first head of Indian Armed Forces. This is leadership. When somebody is actually putting something undigestible to you, don't raise your body in there. Accept it. The way up is always down. You have to go down to the level of others. Then only you can understand their emotions and sentiments. Okay. You can just read it. Can anyone Leo stand up and read these 4 alphabets? Can any Leo stand up and read these 4 alphabets? I'm asking that I can find so many Leos here. One of you please stand up wherever you are and read these 4 alphabets on the screen. Are you standing up? Yes. Joy Fernandez? No, sir. Aiden, okay. Joy, you're looking like a Joy. Are you brothers? No. Are you staying nearby? Yes. Then there is a serious doubt. Okay, sit down. Okay. Right. So, like that. Okay. So, which are the 4 alphabets? Come on. V-U-W-L. These 4 alphabets are leadership attitudes. Exactly the leadership attitudes. What type of a leader you are. Certain leaders are always like the alphabet B. Even if they go down and they have a setback, they have a problem, the very next moment they will come back. They don't want time to come back. The resilience capacity, the resurrection energy is very, very powerful in some leaders. Some people will take some time. It is just like you. They may fall down, they will take some time, and then they will come up. Some leaders take some time. And some of them are like W, falling down, getting up, falling down, getting up. No sustainability, no consistency. We cannot trust such leaders because we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. And some are like L. They will never come back. If they face a setback, they will fall down and they will never come back. Try to be in V format. Try to come back from difficult situations. I just show you a guy, 1912 Stockholm Olympics. Stockholm is the capital city of Sweden. This guy was participating in 2 items, pentathlon and decathlon. Pentathlon, now there is no item in Olympics for gentlemen. 5 items, running and jumping. Decathlon, 10 items. Those days, 1912, no, the athletes were not that rich. He's an American. On the final day, the day on which he had to attend some final items, morning when he got up, he saw his shoes were missing. What to do? No money to buy another pair of shoes. That guy walked out of the hotel, started walking the street of Stockholm, lifting the lid of all the dustbins. And from 2 dustbins, he got 2 deserted, thrown away shoes. Picked them up, went to the room. 1 shoe was too big for him to use. 2-3 socks had to be used. And with that shoes picked up from the dustbin, this guy ran, created an Olympics record. Won 2 gold medals. The King of Sweden, who came as the chief guest for the valedictory ceremony, called him Athlete of the Century. The record he created in pentathlon in 1912 Stockholm Olympics was broken only in 1948. Difficult situation can come to any leader at any time. How you respond? Do you want to run away? Is my cursing destiny and fate? Another wonderful example I can say, his name is Jim Thorpe, a great athlete, Jim Thorpe. Another example I show you, his name is Nathan Sharansky. He was a Jew living in Russia. a journalist. The Russian police arrested him. And what was the charge? Espionage, doing spy work, leaking the defense secrets of Russia to America. He never did. But he was arrested and he was in the Siberian jail for 9 years. So many human rights organizations started making hue and cry. He had a fiancée. She even went to the extent of somehow meeting American President Ronald Reagan and told, this is what is happening to him, please interfere. Finally, the American President interfered and he was released. Every New Year Day, 1st of January, this guy tell, next New Year, I will be in Israel. Next New Year, I will be in Tel Aviv. Every New Year he is telling himself, reiterating the hope that next New Year he is going to be released. I don't want to continue living in USSR. I will go to the country for the Jews alone. There is one country where only the Jews are living, that is Israel. Every New Year Day he will be telling that. How to spend time in the jail? He was a good chess player. And he started playing chess. No rival, no human opponent. He was imagining in his mind he is playing against a player. And who should be the player? Garry Kasparov, the chess maestro and legend. Nathaniel Sharansky played more than 1,500 games in his mind, imagining, visualizing 64 squares are there, playing against Garry Kasparov, and more than 1,500 times he defeated Garry Kasparov. Finally, he was released and he reached Israel. He became very active in Israel politics. He got elected even as the deputy prime minister of the country. Meanwhile, the real Garry Kasparov was visiting Israel. And he told, I will play against 5 players at the same time. Simultaneously, I will play against 5. You decide who are the 5. One among the 5 was Nathaniel Sharansky. Garry Kasparov, the legendary world champion, defeated all other 4s very easily. And believe me, Garry Kasparov got defeated by Nathaniel Sharansky. Nobody could believe it. It was a big surprise. And people went and asked him, hey, how could you defeat such a legendary world champion here? Come on. Nathaniel Sharansky told, this is not for the first time I am defeating him. More than 1,500 times I have already defeated him. Where? In the jail. In my mind. He told, I conditioned my mind to be a winner. I conditioned my mind to be a winner. So leadership is the quality of conditioning your mind to be a winner. Try to make it. And you need 3 important traits of leadership. I am not talking about the conventional traits. I want something different. The 3 most important traits you have to develop are humble, hungry, and smart. Humble in the sense that when someone is pointing out your mistakes, please accept and be ready to correct. Ask yourself, are you ready to do that? To Leos, if your parents or teachers or brothers, somebody is telling what you're doing is wrong, how good you are to accept such positive criticisms. And are you ready to correct? It is applicable to the elders also. Quality of being humble is that. Okay, please accept it. One day Aristotle was walking through a small road. He saw a boy building a house at the middle of the road by broken bricks. And people were finding it very difficult because he was constructing the house at the middle of the road. Aristotle went and said that, hey, what are you doing? Why could you go to a side and why are you troubling others? The boy replied, why can't vehicles and people go different route? How can a house can be shifted? Very difficult to shift a house. Aristotle liked the answer. He asked many questions. The boy answered everything. Finally, the boy asked him, Uncle, can I ask you some questions? He said, yeah, come on, ask. How many stars are there in the sky? Aristotle said, why couldn't you ask something on the earth? Then tell me, how many houses are there in the earth? My God, why couldn't you ask me something that I can see with my eyes? Tell me how many hairs are there on my both eyebrows. Aristotle said, goodbye, thank you very much, meet again. Aristotle really felt that I'm nothing, I'm a zero in front of that boy. Because that boy taught me that whatever knowledge I have is nothing. Always great leaders are humble like that. Smart, hungry for what? Okay, you are not that position now, maybe after another. Hungry for what? Hungry for results. Hungry for results. You have to be careful about the way, but you must be hungry for the results. Okay? I want to achieve this at the end of the year. Your DG Vasanth was telling me that we have already given 77. Shetty, DC has only told. He is my darling. Okay. So 77 HCF already given. We will make it 100. I told him, why couldn't you make 120 and break the record? Then he told, no, that's a prayer told. We are not concerned about the result. We are thinking about the work only. Okay. So prayer, your session was effective. Okay. Right. So hungry, smart. And what is smart? Smart in the sense that your capacity and capability to carry people with you. Your capability and capacity to carry people with you. So come on, Leos. The three traits, the three characteristics, the three qualities you have to have if you want to become a good leader, getting along with others. You have to be humble, you have to be hungry for results, and you have to be smart enough to carry people with you. And let us say the 5 leadership skills to thrive. These are the 5 leadership skills. In this modern scenario, in the world today, the 5 leadership qualities needed for you to thrive forward. The first one, be a change agent. Kavan brought a change to the entire perspective of Leoism. Doing something just like, Kavan, it's a dream of mine to deliver a speech at least in TEDx once in my life. I will definitely focus on that. But I got a chance to LEOxTalk now. Okay, no, something totally different. Try to be, you can appreciate it. Something that is actually a change agent. Try to be a change agent. Be a catalyst. Try change agent. Second one, learn from mistakes. Yeah, that's why you always tell people don't get married again. Okay, whatever it is. So learn from mistakes. So we have to learn from the mistakes. That is what the second leadership quality. Yes. Third one, excel in matrix environment. What is this matrix environment? Today, you cannot just say that, oh, that work I cannot do. This job, someone else, I can do only this job. Sorry. A leader should be a whole leader, capable to manage almost all the departments, capable to manage all the various activities. That is what is called matrix environment. And then be global. Don't think that I had made a spelling mistake. No, it is not global, it is global. You have to think globally and act locally. Yeah, think about the job and do something for the local. So that perspective must be there in your mind. That is how all these great people are becoming great leaders. And be a talent magnet. A leader must be a person capable to bring talents to his team or her team. A leader must be just like a magnet that is attracting talented members, talented guys, talented resources. So my dear friends and Leos, be a change agent, learn from your mistakes, excel in matrix environment, be global, and be a talent magnet. These are the leadership traits. Moving to the final part of my presentation. I love this sentence by Rajendra Bhat. All of us do not have equal talent, yet all of us have equal opportunity to develop our talents. All of us may not have equal talent. Our talents may vary. Even though our talents are not equal, but every one of us is having equal opportunity to develop our talents. So don't think that I am not actually for leadership positions. I don't want to become a lion. I don't want to take up the leadership positions because that is not my cup of tea. No, you can. Yes, you can. Opportunities are there. Okay. And again, Steve Jobs, my most favorite. Steve Jobs, a guy who had a very tough time in his life. Being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. Being the richest man in the cemetery, by the time I go to the cemetery, I say I'm the richest man. That doesn't matter to me. I told you, we all have 2 birthdays. We all have 2 birthdays. The first birthday, our biological birthday. Our biological birthday. Mine is 15th May. Definitely it is wrong. Those days, teachers only decided our birthdays. And if you ask people in my generation, 90% are either May or June. I thought it is a good season. Nothing like that. Teachers only made that. So our first birthday is our biological birthday. And the second birthday is the day on which you and me realize why we are born. Our second birthday is the day when you and me realize why we are born. That is the second birthday. So understand, I don't want to be the richest man and then go to the cemetery. Going to bed at night, every night, today Kevin and Joy Fernandez can go to bed so comfortably. Saying what? Saying what? We have done something wonderful. That is what matters to me. Every night, if you and me, Leos and Lambs, if you and me can go to bed saying that, yes, we have done something wonderful every day, that actually matters wonderful. And the 5 habits you have to embrace, enable, empower, execute and evaluate. Leadership. Embrace what? Embrace change always. Please hardcore embrace change. Okay. And enable what? Thinking. Try to enable your thinking, try to enable the thinking of your team members. A leader should always enable his or her thinking and kindle the spirit of enabling the thinking habit of the team members. Empower the people, no doubt. As I told you, your titles make you a manager, but people only make you a leader. Empower your people. Execute your vision. Whatever vision you have, leadership doesn't mean much if the vision is not executed. And evaluate growth. Every time we have to evaluate growth. So let me tell you, these are the 5 leadership habits for success. Embrace change, enable thinking, empower people, execute vision, and evaluate growth. And let me end my presentation with a beautiful quote by this wonderful player, a beautiful player. I had an experience. He came to Kerala's capital city, Trivandrum. I'm staying in Taj Hotel. I was also there. The chef is known to me personally. The chef was brought from Dubai for just preparing the food. You know, he is a total vegan. You know what is vegan? He will not eat fish, he will not even take milk. Colleague will not even take milk. And honey also he will not take, such a person. Okay? And he asked for Kerala normal traditional lunch food, sadhya we say. And the chef prepared and he has taken only 25-30% of whatever food they prepared. And he asked, what are you going to do with this? No sir, no problem. 5-star hotels, you know, every day 30-40% food will be waste. He said, no. Keep it. I will eat it today evening. We have no right to waste food. And Virat Kohli ate that food, the same food served to him for the lunch in a 5-star hotel for the dinner also. I never knew this guy is having such principles in life. Okay, now he says the essence of good leadership is influence, not authority. The essence of good leadership is influence, not authority. Today, Kavin and Joy have influenced many of the Leos. This influence should be percolated to others, and the Lionism, the Leoism must influence hundreds and thousands of Leos and the youngsters in the world. That is what actually leadership. And let me just actually remind you that always growing old is mandatory, my dear friends. We all will grow old in life, but growing up is optional. Growing old is mandatory, 1 more year moved away out of our calendar. We are actually growing 1 more year older than what we were on 31st of December. But growing old is mandatory, that nobody can stop, but growing up is optional. What a wonderful concept. What a wonderful concept. Somebody was telling that I am the group leader, means the trainer for training the governors next year. Sangir like people, the governors next year. I got a wonderful concept to be shared with the governors in my group. There are 30 governors in my group. And good 5th, I am having a meeting with them. I will definitely show them and tell them this is one novel idea that the Leos of 317, D and C have done, and they can also do it in their district. Hands of you, Kavan, hands of you, Joy. And once again, congratulations and thanks to my great friend and my brother, Vasanth. I held the position of the council chairperson of Kerala. I want you to hold that position in Karnataka also. Please go ahead. So, once again, good luck to all of you. You gave me wonderful listening also. See you once again. May God bless you. Let us be healthy, happy and harmonious in the year 2022. Signing off. See you once again. Goodbye.